Hello, everyone. Thank you once again for letting me spend some time with you. I do appreciate it. Before I get too far involved, yes, the books are available at authorjerrymitchell.com, or you can go to givegod90.com and follow the links from there. And don't forget, to hit all the buttons that you need to hit, right? To like, share, subscribe, notification, all those things that make it easier for people to find us just like you did. When I looked at the statistics just a little while ago, once again, I'm amazed. I am amazed. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. It just, why you want to listen to me, I don't know. I really don't know. Hopefully because you might, if you're not careful, you're going to learn something, right? You got to be careful though, because you just might learn something. If you've been following any of my social media last week, you will notice that I started talking about being famous before all of the Taylor Swift stuff started. Okay. And there was a very large wedding the other day at Madison Square Gardens. Media around the world's reporting on this. And it's amazing. Taylor Swift fans are called Swifties. And it is estimated by all the publicity people that there are somewhere around 800,000 dedicated Swifties around the world. And when I say dedicated, I mean, these are the people that will spend a lot of money going to concerts. They'll spend money on her records, her not records anymore, but you know what I mean. Is she talented? Yes. Not taking that away from her whatsoever. She has talent. She's a good entertainer. And that talent is what helps keep her in the spotlight, right? But fame comes with a cost. And for most famous people, that cost comes with someone else being obsessed with your life. Some people are going to want you to be successful. Some people are going to love you. Others are going to hate you because they're jealous of you. They want to be you instead of you. That maybe they don't think you're doing things the way they would, right? You can be famous one day and all of a sudden everybody hates you the next day. Fame has a price. Fame has a price. The price is that your life is no longer your life. And very sadly, that is the downfall of many famous people. They think that to stay in the spotlight, to stay famous, they need to do things that didn't create their fame to start with, right? And movie stars figured that out a long time ago. I mean, a long time ago. They figured out, you know what? Relationships can keep me in the spotlight. Liz Taylor's a famous one, right? How many times was she married? It kept her in the spotlight. Marriage and divorce keeps media attention on you. There are, I don't know if you can call them magazines, scandal sheets. They're scandal sheets that keep you in the spotlight. They're dedicated to that. And I'm going to say this, Swifties, don't be surprised if in a few years, when Taylor's concerts don't sell out, when her music might start to not sell like it's selling, doesn't attract as much attention. Don't be surprised if her publicity people talk her and Travis into some kind of a relationship crisis to get back into the spotlight. I had a publicist tell me, there's no such thing as bad publicity. Yeah, there is. There is. And I've talked about the hazards of being famous before from the perspective of looking at the famous person. And I want to look at it from the viewpoint today of looking at the fans, looking at the people who put others in the spotlight. And I'm not talking just about a casual fan here. Maybe somebody who just enjoys their talent, whether it's somebody who enjoys, I don't know, maybe it was John Wayne, right? He was a good actor. He was a famous actor. They enjoyed his acting. Not someone like that. I'm talking about the people who were obsessed. When you're obsessed with, when you are obsessed with a famous person, you begin to treat them like an idol. And oddly enough, and this might sound funny to some people, you can hate someone to the extent that their hate causes you to treat a famous person like an idol. It can. Exodus 20, verses 4 through 6. You shall not make for yourself an idol in the form of anything in the heavens above or on the earth below or in the waters beneath. You will not bow down to them or worship them, for I am the Lord your God. I am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers on their children to the third and fourth generations of those who hate me, but showing loving devotion to 1,000 generations of those who love me by keeping my commandments. It's easy to see that if you love something so much to the extent that you're worshiping it like an idol, it's kind of easy to see that's wrong, right? But it is also possible to hate someone so much they become your idol of hatred worship. Did you realize that? If you allow your hatred to become an obsession, then you have created an idol out of what you hate. And it becomes a form of worship for you. Think about this. During the Feast of Purim and the retelling of the story of Esther, it is tradition that whenever the name of Haman is either spoken or about to be spoken, everyone makes noise. They'll shout, they'll make noise, they'll do all kinds of things to drown out his name so his name is not remembered. Not exactly a form of worship, but it is a way of saying we hate this person so much we don't even remember his name. Some people won't even speak the name of Adolf Hitler because of the atrocities that were committed in his name. And I get that. I get those things. I do. I know people who are divorced who hate their exes so much that they become obsessed with destroying them. And they're so obsessed that while they're attempting to destroy whoever the ex might be, they're destroying everything and everyone around them, including the lives of their children, their other family members, their friends. It gets to become an obsession. And what you're doing is allowing that hatred to become a form of worship. Certainly not godly worship. What is the opposite of godly worship? Well, it's not exactly satanic all the time, but that's where it comes from. When we go so far as to make someone the center of our attention, the center of our existence, to either love them so much or hate them so much, we create an idol out of them. We worship them in either love or hate. And yes, worship, bowing down. If you bow down to someone so much, because out of hatred, it's idol worship and it's a form of worship. Now, I know some people might say, well, I'm not going to bow down to something I hate. Yes, you are. If you've allowed it to become such an obsession, such a thing that rules your life, And I see this in posts all the time, either political posts or in, this person did this. Well, I'm not following them anymore. This company did this. I'm not buying anything from them anymore. It is a form of worship. If you do it so that if it is your constant focus, something you think about all the time, it becomes part of your life, and you can't function otherwise. And there are people out there who do this. The Pharisees themselves experienced this. Did you know that? The Pharisees in the first century AD, somewhere right around the year 28 AD, in Matthew 22, verses 34 through 36, when the Pharisees heard that Jesus had silenced the Sadducees, they themselves gathered together. One of them, an expert in law, tested him with a question. Teacher, which is the greatest commandment? Now, his answer was going to simply be, love God, love your neighbor. You see, everything else is an application of that. Everything else is an application of that. It's that simple. And then he does what he's famous for doing. He asked them a question, and they couldn't answer it. They could not answer his question. And they decided among themselves, this Jesus person's got to die. We've got to find a way to kill him. They became so obsessed, they were so jealous, that their hate became a form of worship, and that became their ultimate downfall. Becoming obsessed with someone, either through love or hate, is idol worship. And the only one worthy of our worship is our Creator. That's what it boils down to. The only one worthy of our worship is our Creator. So whether you love someone else, whether you enjoy their talent, don't become obsessed. Whether you hate someone so much, don't become obsessed. Focus on our Creator. Worship Him only. See if that doesn't change your life. Because worshiping Him and Him alone is living the way we are designed to live. That is something to think about until next time. And until then, I do wish you many, many blessings, everyone.